Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fox Shop Barbecue, where we do all of our smoking and grilling and making of foodstuffs right down here in the Fox Shop. And if you don't know what the Fox Shop is, that's the name of my other YouTube channel, just the Fox Shop, as you can see up here on my truck. And it's primarily an automotive channel where we do things such as this 94 F-150, have a 93 Bronco over in the other shop that's going to be getting painted here shortly. Anyway, if you think you might like that kind of content as well, there'll be a link to that channel down in the description. But as far as what we're going to be doing today on this channel, we're going to be smoking a pot roast. I've smoked roasts before, never smoked an entire pot roast with all the carrots and onion and potatoes and everything. Gonna give that a shot today, so let me get things set up down here and I'll bring you back in just a second. And like usual, wearing gloves. I don't have a sink down here in the shop, so wear gloves whenever I handle raw meat of any kind. And this came from my wife's parents. It's a beef arm roast, which I believe is pretty much the same as a chuck roast. And I'd say it's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds, something like that. It's a big one. So we'll get this out of here. Hope I can do this without getting blood all over. I thought it was going to be wrapped in plastic. Just a second. Alright, so we have our roast sitting here. That's what it looks like. And that's a big chunk of meat. But all I'm going to do on this, I have a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic. We're just going to sprinkle this on it and rub it in a little bit. Not going to overdo it. Good coating on both sides. Get some around the outside. Alright, that should do it. I'm just going to let this hang out here for a little while the smoker is getting up to temp, and I'll bring you back in. Alright guys, so we've got our roast sitting here. Been a little while waiting for the smoker to get up to temp, and it's real close. I just looked a few minutes ago, it was at 239 degrees. Have some hickory wood on that. Some smoke is already starting to go, so I'm going to go ahead and get that out on the smoker. I have a feeling this might take a little bit longer than I was anticipating. Well, I'll get the smoker opened up. It is at 246. I'm cooking this at 250. So we're just gonna get this, just gonna get her on in there. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do here in just a second. So originally I was gonna have that roast out on the smoker for about an hour, but I think now I'm gonna go hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours with it. And then I'm gonna take one of these pans and I'm gonna fill it with, well, about half full or so with just using beef broth. And taking the roast off the smoker, we're putting it into the beef broth, putting it back on the smoker for about an hour or so. And in the meantime, I'm gonna cut up some potatoes, carrots, onions, and then after the roast is in the beef broth on the smoker for about an hour, we're gonna be adding the potatoes, carrots, and onions to the mixture there. And then probably gonna take another couple hours. At least, might be 3, 4, I'm not sure, but we'll find out here. It's gonna turn out just fine. All right, so it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. I'm just gonna move this over into this pan. And then we're gonna fill the pan, and it goes up on the meat, maybe not quite halfway. So we're just gonna pour some beef broth in here. And I think that will be enough. I got 2 of these, but I think 1 will be plenty. And we're just gonna cover this with aluminum foil and put it back out on the smoker, probably for another hour or so. And then we're gonna add in our carrots and potatoes and stuff. Let's get this wrapped up. And back on the smoker, that's gonna go for an hour or so. So like I said, got that out here on the smoker, and that'll go for another hour, maybe just a little bit longer. I got the door shut back up here, or going to let too much hot air out of there. But anyway, show you what we're doing next. All right, so I just pulled this back off the smoker. It's been right at an hour, and I'm gonna add in the potatoes, onions, and carrots. Looking and smelling good. So I went up to the house and cut up some of these onions, not really for eating, just to add some flavor into this. So we'll just kind of scatter them around. And we'll add our potatoes in here. And our carrots. Personally, I love cooked carrots, so I'm putting a lot in here. That's good. We're going to cover this back up and back on the smoker for probably at least a couple of hours. Might be longer. And there's quite a bit of weight in that, so I'm going to double pan it. Alright, so just got that back out on the smoker. Like I said, probably going to be at least a couple more hours, maybe 3. But that's really all there is to it, and you'll see the end result here momentarily. Alright guys, we have about 45 minutes to go to the 4-hour mark on that pot roast. And I'm gonna go stick a probe in it. I wasn't gonna do this, I was just gonna use a fork and see if it's tender and pulls apart and everything, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick a probe on it so I have some idea of what's going on out there without opening the smoker up. And I'm using, I've shown this before, I really like this thing, got this for Christmas. I'll link it down below. It's got a 300-foot range on it, so I could take it up to the house, so that's about 300 feet. But I really do like the darn thing. Saves you from going out and sticking the thermometer in the meat, you know, every so often. You can just sit here and watch it. So I'm gonna go stick this in the roast, and then I'll have some idea what's going on out there. And we are only at 135 degrees. So I'm gonna go crank the heat up on that. I'm gonna put it up to 275. What are you clowns doing? So yeah, I want to get that roast up to about 195 internal temperature, and we're not there yet. So I cranked it up to 275, and we'll see what happens here. Not even 4:30 yet, so I have some time. Get her done the next couple hours, I'm sure. Actually, I don't think we're 4 hours into this. I was going to start at noon, and I think I decided to start at, I don't remember for sure. I think I started at 1 o'clock. And I did the roast out there an hour by itself, and then an hour just in the broth. Yeah, that'd be about right. And then I put vegetables in it. And that's only been an hour and a half. So we're only about 3.5 hours into this. I'm guessing maybe by 6 o'clock it might be done. And if it's not done till 7 or 8, that's okay too. All right guys, so I just pulled this off of the smoker, and I tore a little piece off here. So I'm gonna try that right now. That's darn tasty. And to be honest with you, the carrots and potatoes, not quite done yet. I mean, they're getting there, they're getting close. Probably another half hour, 45 minutes, they'd all be done. But they're not quite there. So we're gonna take these up to the house. I think we're gonna throw the carrots and potatoes in the pressure cooker and get them done real quick. But turned out real good. Only took about 7 hours. That was a big chunk of meat though, but we're ready to go. I'm gonna wrap this back up. I'm gonna take it up to the house. I have a hungry wife and child up there. So I wouldn't say it was a fail, but didn't turn out exactly like I wanted it to. But anyway, guys, I'll tell you the meat tastes really good. So I'm gonna wrap this up, take it up to the house. Live and learn down here at the Fox Shop Barbecue. And if you would, give this video a big old thumbs up. Comments go down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification bell. That way you always know when I upload a video. And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.